In this video, we explore what ancestral family karma is, how it impacts your current life, and how you can transcend this karma. Have you ever found yourself wondering why certain patterns or challenges seem to be woven into the very fabric of your life, even when you've taken every step to avoid them? Perhaps you've noticed recurring struggles, whether they be emotional wounds, dysfunctional relationships, or cycles of financial hardship, not just in your life, but in your family's lineage. These patterns, sometimes spanning generations, are not random. They are manifestations of what spiritual traditions across the world call ancestral family karma. When you truly understand the spiritual essence of ancestral karma, you unlock the key to healing deep-seated wounds and achieving your soul's highest potential. Lesson 1. Understanding ancestral family karma. Karma refers to the energy we create through our actions, thoughts, and intentions. This energy, according to the Bhagavad Gita and other ancient spiritual texts, is not confined to one lifetime, but travels with the soul through its many incarnations. Karma can be either positive or negative, depending on the nature of the actions and the intentions behind them. When we speak of ancestral family karma, we are referring to the karma generated by the collective actions, thoughts, and unresolved traumas of your ancestors. Just as individual souls accumulate karma, so too does a family lineage, carrying forward the energy, both positive and negative, of past generations. In this sense, your soul does not exist in isolation. It is deeply enmeshed within the web of relationships and energies that form your family soul. This is the karmic debt that is passed down through familial lines, often manifesting in the lives of descendants as inherited patterns of struggle or suffering. In Hinduism, this concept is sometimes referred to as Pitru dosha, an ancestral debt that must be repaid or healed to free the individual and the family from cycles of suffering. The ancient Vedic texts explain that by resolving these karmic debts, not only do we free ourselves, but we also bring peace and liberation to our ancestors. Lesson 2. Why we carry ancestral family karma as individual souls. Though we are individual souls, each of us is born into a particular family for a divine reason. Ancient spiritual teachings, from Hinduism to the Native American traditions, suggest that the soul chooses its family lineage before incarnation, specifically because it seeks to resolve unfinished karma, not just for itself, but for the collective family soul. This brings us to an important spiritual truth. The soul is not isolated. It exists within a web of interconnected energies. Every family carries a soul matrix, a collective energetic field that binds individual members together. This soul matrix is like a river of consciousness flowing through time, carrying with it the karmic imprints of past actions, emotions, and experiences. You, as a part of this family soul, inherit not only its physical traits, but also its energetic imprints, its karma. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that each soul has a unique role in the cosmic dance of life, and sometimes that role involves healing the collective karma of the family lineage. By doing so, the soul advances not just its own evolution, but contributes to the spiritual growth of the entire lineage. This is why we often see karmic patterns repeat across generations. The unresolved energies and lessons of one generation are passed down, waiting for a soul capable of transforming them. In essence, your soul chose this family because it saw the opportunity to heal, grow, and evolve. Philosophers such as Carl Jung referred to this connection as the collective unconscious, where patterns, memories, and archetypes from the past influence the present. On a metaphysical level, your family soul is like a field of energy in which individual experiences are shared, and this energetic field carries forward both blessings and burdens across generations. Every soul within the family is working through layers of karma, striving toward the same goal, spiritual liberation and fulfillment. Lesson 3. The science behind ancestral karma. While spirituality has long acknowledged the transmission of karma through generations, modern science is only just beginning to understand how our ancestors' experiences affect us at a genetic level. This is where the field of epigenetics comes in. Epigenetics is the study of how external factors, such as environment, trauma, and stress, can modify gene expression without changing the underlying DNA sequence. This means that the experiences of your ancestors, whether it be trauma from war, famine, or oppression, can leave molecular marks on their DNA, which are then passed down through generations. In a groundbreaking study published in Nature in 2018, scientists observed that epigenetic markers could be passed down for up to 14 generations in roundworms. This finding has profound implications for human beings as well. Studies have shown that descendants of Holocaust survivors and other traumatized populations, like those who lived through famine, carry genetic markers that predispose them to certain emotional and psychological conditions, such as anxiety or depression. These markers influence how certain genes are expressed, potentially making descendants more susceptible to the same emotional or physical conditions their ancestors faced. From a spiritual perspective, this is akin to the karmic imprints passed down through family lines. The unresolved trauma of your ancestors literally lives within you, encoded in your very DNA. Just as the karmic debt of your ancestors affects your spiritual journey, their trauma influences your physical and emotional health through epigenetic markers. The integration of epigenetics and spiritual teachings reveals that ancestral karma is not merely a metaphysical concept, it has a tangible biological reality. Lesson 4. How ancestral karma impacts your soul's current life. The effects of ancestral family karma can manifest in a myriad of ways, often influencing your soul's journey without you even realizing it. Have you noticed recurring themes in your life or your family's history? Perhaps your family struggles with issues like poverty, addiction, or abusive relationships. These patterns, which seem to persist despite the best efforts to break them, are often the manifestations of ancestral karma. From a spiritual perspective, these patterns are energetic imprints carried forward through generations. The teachings of the Buddha highlight the cyclical nature of karma, emphasizing that unresolved energies seek resolution. If your ancestors experienced significant trauma or engaged in harmful behaviors that were never healed or addressed, that energy remains within the family soul, awaiting a descendant, like you, capable of transforming it. For example, if your ancestors suffered from oppression or slavery, the trauma of those experiences could have been passed down to you as a deep-seated fear of authority or an overwhelming sense of powerlessness. If your family line has been plagued by financial hardship, this could be the result of ancestral karma related to the misuse of wealth or resources in a past generation. These patterns are not coincidental. They are the soul's way of inviting you to heal and transform the karma of your family line. Lesson 5. Healing ancestral family karma. Healing ancestral family karma is not just about resolving the issues of the past. It is about freeing your soul to fulfill its highest potential. Many spiritual traditions offer guidance on how to do this, emphasizing the power of awareness, forgiveness, and ritual. Number 1. Awareness and acknowledgement. The first step in healing ancestral karma is to recognize the patterns that exist within your family lineage. This requires deep introspection and an honest assessment of the recurring themes in your life. As the Bhagavad Gita teaches, knowledge is better than mechanical practice. Meditation is better than knowledge. And renunciation of the fruits of action is better still, for peace immediately follows such renunciation. This shows that awareness to the karma you carry allows you to begin the process of healing it. Number 2. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools for healing karma. The teachings of Christ and the Buddha both emphasize the necessity of forgiveness, not just for others, but for oneself. When you forgive your ancestors for their unresolved actions, you release the energetic burden you've been carrying on their behalf. In Buddhism, this is often done through practices such as metta, which is a loving-kindness meditation that encourages you to send love and forgiveness to all beings, including your ancestors. Number 3. Rituals and offerings. Across cultures, rituals for ancestral healing are common. In Hinduism, Pindaan is a ritual offering made to deceased ancestors to help resolve their karma and bring them peace. Similarly, in African spiritual traditions, ancestral veneration practices are performed to honor and heal the spirits of the ancestors. These rituals serve as a way to acknowledge the impact of your ancestors' lives and to consciously engage in the process of healing. Number 4. Epigenetic healing. Epigenetics shows us that we can heal karmic imprints on a biological level. Recent research has suggested that mindfulness practices and even certain dietary choices can influence gene expression, potentially reversing some of the negative effects of inherited trauma. In a study conducted by researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, it was found that mindfulness meditation could alter gene expression related to inflammation. Since chronic inflammation has been linked to stress and trauma, suggesting these spiritual practices have a direct impact on the body's biological inheritance. And number 5, meditation and prayer. Meditation and prayer are essential tools for transcending ancestral karma. In Hinduism, the practice of japa, repeatedly chanting the name of God, helps cleanse the soul of negative karma. In Christianity, prayer and fasting are used to seek divine intervention in breaking familial curses or generational patterns. Through these spiritual practices, you align yourself with higher energies that can assist in healing the karmic imprints of your lineage. Lesson 6. Transcending ancestral karma. Once you have begun the process of healing ancestral karma, your soul embarks on a path of liberation. This liberation is not just for you, but for your entire family line. According to the Upanishads, one of the core tenets of Hindu philosophy, by transcending karma, the soul attains moksha, spiritual liberation and freedom from the cycle of birth and death. In practical terms, this means that by healing your ancestral karma, you free yourself from the recurring patterns that have held you back. You no longer have to carry the burdens of your ancestors. Instead, you are able to step fully into your soul's purpose, unencumbered by the past. This liberation is often accompanied by profound shifts in your life. As you heal the karma of your lineage, you may notice that long-standing family issues begin to resolve. Relationships may heal, financial hardships may ease, and a sense of peace may descend upon your family. This is the power of ancestral healing. It transforms not only your life, but the lives of those who came before you and those who will come after you. And finally, Lesson 7, the ripple effect of healing. The healing of ancestral karma has a ripple effect that extends far beyond your immediate family. When you heal, you contribute to the healing of the collective consciousness. This is why, in many spiritual traditions, the act of healing oneself is seen as an act of service to the world. In Buddhism, this is known as bodhisattva practice, the vow to attain enlightenment not just for oneself, but for the benefit of all beings. Similarly, in the Native American tradition, the healing of ancestral karma is seen as a way to bring harmony to the earth and all its inhabitants. By healing your ancestral karma, you are contributing to the collective evolution of humanity. You are helping to dissolve the karmic patterns that have kept humanity stuck in cycles of suffering, paving the way for future generations to live in greater peace, harmony, and spiritual awareness. In conclusion, the journey of healing ancestral family karma is not an easy one, but it is one of the most profound and transformative journeys your soul can undertake. By bringing awareness to the karmic patterns that have shaped your life, forgiving your ancestors and engaging in spiritual practices, you can transcend the karma of your lineage and free yourself to live the life your soul was meant to live. As you heal ancestral family karma, you free yourself to fulfill your soul's highest potential. Remember, your soul is not bound by the past. While ancestral karma may influence your life, it does not define your destiny. The teachings of spiritual masters like Paramahansa Yogananda and Eckhart Tolle emphasize that the present moment holds the key to transformation. By choosing to heal, you align yourself with the divine flow of grace, transcending the limitations of the past. You are not just healing for yourself, you are healing for your ancestors and for future generations. This is the sacred responsibility of the soul, and it is one that you have the power to fulfill. As the Buddha once said, thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. In the same way, the healing you bring to your family soul will not be diminished, but will continue to grow, spreading light to all who come after you. You are the light bearer for your family. You are the one chosen by your soul to break the cycle and usher in a new era of healing, peace, and spiritual liberation. Embrace this journey with courage, love, and an open heart, for the reward is not only your own freedom, but the freedom of all who came before you and all who will come after you.